And one of my questions is all basically on technology. You said on here on the press conference that Beakman is very unlikely to return to television because there is no money for the studios.
Right.
Do you think that maybe the fact that kids nowadays they can like enter a website and see things, learn science things on these websites, or even watch Beakman's World episodes on like YouTube? Do you think this has some sort of factor in this non-returning of Beakman?
Well, returning with new episodes, there's really just one reason why they don't make new episodes. They don't see themselves making any money. They don't do anything in Hollywood unless it makes money. They don't do this because it's good for kids or, blah, blah, blah. They do it in order to make money. They don't see any money in it. So it really has nothing to do with the internet or, the show's evergreen, which means that you can keep showing it and it doesn't become out of date. You know what I mean? It's not like a news show or, a culture show where already they're talking about somebody, that's no longer whatever. So no, I don't know. I have a weird perspective on it. I see it as being very contemporary. And I realize, oh yeah, it was 20 years ago. That's kind of weird. But I look at it and I don't say, oh look, the 90s. I just don't get that vibe. Maybe I'm nuts, but it's not the way I perceive it. It had that MTV thing of being very fast. And then also, the two cameras were close together. And the performers moved back and forth. The cameras didn't move. It had a very unusual look, the show.
Yeah, and more on the look of the show was very humorous. Basically for me, as I see it, it's kind of different between the 2000s and the 90s.
Right.
Had a very 90s humor.
Interesting.
And a lot of people remember Beakman's World because of its humor, like the penguins watching TV, a man just dressed as like a rat.
Right.
And I think a lot of people remember the experiment and the concepts because of this humor. Do you think that humor and education have some sort of interconnection?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, humor, it disarms people and it allows people to let down their defenses. It's a way of inviting people in. And it's my life's mission. I mean, you could say, oh, is science, no, making people laugh, that's like really important. So making people laugh is a great way to get them to think about science, which a lot of people find really difficult. Oh, science, it's too hard, it's too boring, it's too this, that, and the other. So humor is a great way to knock that down.
Great. And in the show, you used a lot of basic objects, simple objects to do the experiments, like paper, rubber band, this kind of things.
Right.
And nowadays, basically on the private schools here in Brazil, we see a lot of them using new kinds of technology like digital boards or tablets to teach kids.
Right.
Do you think that these advances in technology has led to an increase of education, of the quality of the education?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think these tools can be really helpful and really great. There's a place for both of them, as far as I'm concerned. There's a place for the simple stick and the rubber band and a piece of paper, and then, something that you generate, with a computer, right? I think there's a place for all of that stuff. I don't think any of it supersedes any of the other stuff.
And you, as a puppeteer, in this area, technology really doesn't have much effect, does it?
Well, I'm doing now shows that are very small. So the puppet shows are in a stage like this big, and we have a camera, and we live video feed onto a large screen. So it does have that technological aspect, but I come from a Luddite background, anti-technology background, and puppetry, in many ways is very simple technology, and there's something great about the simplicity of it. But I do use the video because how else are you going to reach a big audience with something small? You want to do something really small, you have to project it. So.
Thanks so much for taking the time.
Sure, man. Yeah, it was my pleasure.